Let's go to the Riverina in New South Wales. And Jace, I've got to say, this is so frustrating for everyone. The New South Wales regions will open up from lockdown on Saturday, but that doesn't necessarily mean we got an answer back from AFL Riverina, and by the time we go to air, we may well have had an answer, but it just is what it is.
It is. It's a holding pattern for everyone at the moment. And I know there's talks going on behind closed doors between clubs and association and league officials, and try to work out what the situation might entail. Obviously, adjustments are going to need to be made to final series across the Riverina, whether it be Riverina Football or Hume and other associations and leagues around that region. But the reality is nothing can be done until they get some sort of direct, clear indication of when they can return. And the other decision these competitions are going to have to make is, will they be prepared to play in front of no crowds, which is a possibility as well. If the restrictions are eased slightly and they say yes to community sport, but you can't have a crowd, will they play a final series under those circumstances, Flowman? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I don't think so, Jace. I think this is one of the big battles. But AFL New South Wales has a very interesting site. They have not yet put out anything as of going to air and putting this piece together. But I was really intrigued. They have been really talking up the fact that both the Giants and the Swans made it to the finals, and albeit both sides are now out of the finals, I reckon that's a real fillip for the regions of New South Wales, because a lot of players actually represent the two clubs, the Giants and the Swans, who have got an affinity with the regions.
Yeah, that's true. There's certainly the Giants in particular. For Sydney, a lot of their youngsters are coming out of country, South Australia, in fact. So we're seeing that more and more with the Swans. They have an affinity there for some reason, but the Giants in particular have that Riverina link. There's no question about that. So, look, there'll be some interest in getting the season restarted if they're allowed to. And it all comes back to what John Barilaro and the government decide that they're going to do in terms of regional restrictions. Now, we know that there are COVID cases in parts of regional New South Wales. That's confirmed. But from what I understand, the Riverina has been relatively, touch wood, unscathed to this point, Flowman.
Yeah. I think that's the key sticking point that everyone has been talking about. So
get them going.
Yeah, but look, I think this just let the Farrer and let Riverina play. But hopefully we've got more on that for you. It is your Friday night sports show. Look, I'm really impressed by the fact that New South Wales is really making its way in AFL, and great to see the Swan boys and also the Giants have at least the finals success, getting there. Going out in the first week would have been disappointing for everyone, but not to, at least the second week for the Giants, but not to mention the really good efforts from the players and for the coaches from junior development right through. And so we look forward to hearing more about AFL New South Wales in the future over these next couple of weeks.